This is New Media TV in London.
Yeah, hi guys, very good afternoon to you. You're welcome to my show. I salute you. I hope I meet each and every one of you in good spirit, in top form. Yes, today is Wednesday, the 3rd day of July 2019. Now, I've got some small little time to spare so that I can actually come up and then dish out some unique stuff through to each and every one of you. Alaji Aremo, Osholade Alapufo, you're welcome to the show in my usual style and in my usual form. I salute you. Yeah, thank you all. Maybe other people will join us at some point in time, or maybe should I probably seize the same opportunity to invite them. Perhaps it will be worth that while if we probably go through that exercise. So let me spare me a minute, guys. Let me quickly invite a few handful of people into the show. I can't see any of you right now, but I'll try as much as possible to acknowledge each and every one the moment I'm through with this stuff, guys. I'm going to make reference to a handful of people as well who has been active on Facebook, and they've been, airing their own views and opinion on their various platforms. I think the one I watched earlier on this morning around 4 a.m. was Abikade of Crystal African Radio. Yeah, I watched your show early this morning, in which you are particularly hammering on the protest coming up on the 12th of July in a couple of weeks, Friday at 11 a.m. right in front of the Nigeria High Commission in London. Yeah, that was spooky, and it was quite nice that we all are beginning to get our head straight and not screwed up like the rest of them all. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit volatile this afternoon. I've got some time to really spare. I think I'm on position 71. Now, I should have done this probably yesterday. I'm going to stop here. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Yeah, Grace Emi Ogolo, good afternoon to you. You're welcome to the show. I can equally support you. Yeah, it is Wednesday, the 3rd day of July 2019. Now, I want to ask, because I'm sure other people will join us at some point in time later on during the show. Ayogundimu, thank you for tuning in. Maybe you want to share this on the Citizen AY platform so that everyone can actually come in, because I am going to make reference to your show, Ayogundimu, and I'm going to make reference as well to the Abikade of Crystal African Radio. Yes, Didi Nwabudike, you're welcome to the show. Good afternoon to you. Now, yeah, the Ayogundimu, you said Ruga suspended. Ruga is not suspended. We're just cooling the problem that is associated with Ruga. It is not suspended. It is in the cooler, and I'm going to, that's exactly what I want to spell out to each and everybody this afternoon. It is not. Those people, they are nasty people. Ola Univ, you're welcome to the show. Ayogundimu, you said we must keep the pressure on this crazy government. Look, like I always say, if we take back 100 years, let's look back 100 years. That is a centenary. If we look back 100 years from now, we look back 100 years into the past. The 100 years that we have to look back into in the past, Elizabeth Otobo, you're welcome. Jack Olushola, you're welcome. That 100 years we have to look back in the past. You will discover within that centenary that some people who existed in that period, you and I, we were not born as at that time. Those people who lived, who acquired wealth, who built different houses, and perhaps they've got cars, or they've got horses, or carriages, or things that can transport them from one place to the other, are no longer existing. When you look at the buildings, the structures of those 100 years ago, some, make no mistakes, are still existing, and those that are still existing are probably labeled, like in the United Kingdom and perhaps in some civilized society, as listed building. If you look back 100 years ago, the same Piccadilly Circus, the same Regent Street, the same Oxford Street, the same Tower Bridge, the same Tower of London, the same Wapping was not the same that it is today, because many properties were gone. There is room for new developments. Creativity had already come into the limelight. That was 100 years ago. Now picture the same scenario with that nasty piece of expression called Nigeria. Look back into 100 years, considering the fact that that country is 60 years and you've got 60 years of misery. So 40 years plus that 60 years. Look back into that nasty piece of expression called Nigeria. What can you see? The title of my show or my podcast today is hashtag Ruthless Nigeria, because that country is completely ruthless. We've got ruthless nation, we've got ruthless leaders, and we've got ruthless people in that country. Now, those who lived that 100 years ago are below ground right now. Some of the properties these people left behind, the cars these people left behind, are complete rubbish now in today's world. Now let's picture exactly where the next 100 years is going to be. You see, the next 100 years, you and I, we won't be here. Now picture that 100 years and then you look at exactly what is happening right now to that 100 years. What type of a nation do they want to leave behind for the children of that nasty piece of expression called Nigeria that are yet to be born? Elizabeth Otobo. Lizzie said, Mr. Frank Bello, please find time to address the issue of one Nigeria senator who has been beating up a woman in a shop. Yeah, that was nasty. The latest I gathered, Lizzie, was that his wife then came up on the pages of the newspaper to say to the whole world that she will support the husband. Utter nonsense. A senator, he should be in jail. That is part of that ruthless Nigeria that I am talking about. The last time I did Nigeria Jaga Jaga. So that senator, because you brought this up, Lizzie, that senator has got a wife and then beating somebody else's perhaps wife or daughter, and the same senator obviously has got a daughter. So how will that senator feel perhaps later on in the future if somebody else should slap her own daughter, his own daughter? That is why I said it is ruthless, and that's why I said let us look back 100 years and then let's look forward into another 100 years, because in the next 100 years that nasty piece of that senator is not going to exist. There's a lot more, because you don't just treat people shamble, or you treat them like a trash can when you see them. Number one, a lot of people, Lizzie, made mistakes by maltreating others because they are in a position of power and authority, but they tend to forget that all powers belongs to God, and they don't realize, or they don't know, the type of spirits and angels that are following each and every person. What if that girl's spirit, because we've all got our individual guardian angel, the moment we were conceived in our mother's womb as a zygote, as one of the several millions of sperms that germinate into who we are, the moment that creation clicked in, right from that womb, each and every unborn fetus is allocated a specific angel and spirits that will guide that person's journey, this surface plane of existence. Stupid man. What if the guardian angel and the spirits working with that lady suddenly take revenge on that nasty piece of that senator? What if tomorrow that senator is afflicted with an untreatable disease, or he suddenly fall to his grave? Nemesis caught up with him. It's not just the pastors that they claim, touch not my anointing. There are some people, you don't touch them. You don't. Because you don't really know who they are. That is why I said ruthless Nigeria. That nation is ruthless. Ola Univ. Nigerian government are not hearing what's happened on social media. Senate and Rep should fight for Nigeria. They won't fight for Nigeria. They won't. Ola Univ. They are all rogues. They are all corrupt people. They are only interested in their own pocket. They are only interested in their own pocket. Now, you think they will fight for the interest of Nigeria, or those senators and those members of the House of Reps will fight for the interest of their constituencies? No. Several billions is already exchanging hands right on the floor of the red chamber and the green chamber. Yeah, Jack Olushola. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, it is work. I had thought I'll be able to make this yesterday. So the little time that I have, I said I should come up and then dish out this to you. Jonathan Drojaye or Toyin Hastrop. Amina Olainika. Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, very Lizzie, very ruthless indeed. He should be sacked. They won't sack him because these people are simply birds of the same feather. They are all nasty. They are simply nasty. I mean, Olayinka, he's been summoned by the police. He's been summoned by the police, but he's going to pay off the police. He is simply going to pay off the police. The police will let him go. The reason they summon, look, he's probably being summoned by the IG, and he's going to sit very comfortably in the IG's air-conditioned office. And the air-conditioned office, the Inspector General of Police will probably say, "Ah, don't do that next time." It's a ruthless country. A nation that does not give due respect and regard to women. If your president, Muhammadu Buhari, can go as far as telling the whole world in front of a woman, one of the most powerful women on the surface of this planet, Angela Merkel of Germany, telling that woman and the whole world that his wife belongs to his kitchen and the other room. That showed how ruthless those vagabonds are. They're ruthless. Those are part of the problems we have in Nigeria. Indeed. Samson Anjorin, Toyin Hastrop, Coulter Boy, my childhood friend. I can imagine the guy by now would have been mashed up. His wife, yeah, that's even if he's one, yeah. Very stupid, idiotic Scalloway, yeah. Toyin Hastrop, you're right. How on earth you as a man lift up your hand to beat a woman? Wow. It is sickening. Look, I have encountered many situations in my life. I mean, when my wife and we will have argument. Look, she will even squeeze my shirt and everything. You know what? I'll just be begging God to just get out of that house so that at least things will diffuse. Maybe by the time I'm off the house for maybe 4, 5, 6 hours, maybe sometimes I might not even come back that night. And when I come back, yes, the whole environment must have cooled down. And somebody who is not even your wife, wow, that is an act of wickedness. Toyin Hastrop, Abiodun Longe, good afternoon to you. In fact, those who voted him should also be sacked. They don't sack them like that. Do you think they voted Lizzie? Do you really think that man was voted into power? That man used money, bribed people. The people sold their conscience. This is part of the ruthlessness we are talking about. This is part of that ruthlessness we're talking about. Nobody can control him. Nobody can caution him because he sold those people. He paid those people. Those people received at least maybe 1,000 naira or 2,000 naira, max 5,000 naira. Perhaps the election that even brought him as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is rigged. What about that? What if that election was rigged and that a competent human being who probably should have been elected as the senator of that constituency was rigged out? He was probably rigged. The election that brought him probably must have been fraudulent. Grace Emiogolo, you said okay. You said true. Yetola Omojua, what a country. Jack Olushola, you said, were you flagged before? No, I don't think so. Even if I'm flagged, it doesn't really bother me. Mr. Arojo from the old home league is equally watching the show. Guys, I want to play you something and I want you to listen to this. Listen to this.
Of 19.1 million naira to each member as take-off grant.
Listen to this.
Fellow Nigerians, Nigeria is blessed with abundant human and capital resources, free from natural disasters, but has been unlucky with leaders. We have one of the highest poverty rates in the world. Over 13 million children do not have access to basic quality education.
13 million children.
Nigeria has the second highest maternal and infant mortality rate.
Over 13 million children in Nigeria do not have access to not even quantitative, not quality, not quantitative education. They don't have access to education in 2019. And we've got a nasty old rugged human being as president. And I'm still looking forward to people that will tell me that I am stupid or I don't know exactly what I am talking about. In 2019, well over 13 million Nigerian children don't have access to education. Let's do this again. Listen to this again.
Fellow Nigerians, Nigeria is blessed with abundant human and capital resources.
Blessed.
Free from natural disasters.
Free from natural
but
disaster.
has been unlucky with leaders.
We've addressed
We
that.
have one of the highest poverty rates.
Highest poverty rate in the world.
Over 13 million children do not have access to basic quality education.
Quality.
Nigeria has the second highest maternal and infant mortality rate
Can you
in
imagine?
the world. Second to India.
Second to India.
We lack infrastructures, power, potable water. We cannot afford a minimum wage of about 30,000 naira, which is approximately $82 per month. Yet, we have the most expensive legislative
in the whole world.
In the world.
We've got the most expensive legislative arm of government in the world. That is a ruthless nation. That is a ruthless country. A ruthless country whereby an ordinary senator earns more than the United States president, earns more than the British Prime Minister, and more than the Chancellor of the German Chancellor. The most expensive legislative arm of government in the world. Like I said, Ayogundimo, several billions is already exchanging hands in that ruthless nation. Prince Adebukun Tolualashe, you're welcome to the show. Lizzie, I won't be surprised. Yeah, he's going to pay his way out. Toyin, you said, in fact, don't be surprised that they wouldn't do him jack. They wouldn't. They won't. That's exactly what I mean. That this same nasty piece of log of wood who called himself a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has probably gone into meeting with your Inspector General of Police in an air-conditioned office, served with tea, sipping tea, laughing with the Inspector General of Police. The Inspector General of Police probably must have addressed the poor little girl as a common woman. To hell with them. All of them should rot in hellfire. That is my prayer for each and every one of them. Jack Olushola, you said, why will you use my name as an adjective to butter your point? This guy, take time because I don't eat women because I have a load of them as daughters. Oh my goodness God. Oh my goodness God. No network. Alright, I'm not too sure if there is network or no network, but let's continue to listen to this. Listen.
In 2014,
Yeah.
Sanusi Lamido Sanusi,
Yeah.
the then CBN governor,
Yeah.
made a humble plea to
Yeah.
cut down on the price of government.
Yeah.
The legislative arm needed to cut down their jumbo allowances to avoid recession.
Yeah.
We all know how that played out.
Yeah.
We are now faced with another possible recession
Yeah.
and the need to cut down the cost of government.
Yeah.
Yet again, the same arm of government have just released an average of
19.1 million naira.
each member as
Each
take of grant.
member.
These amounts to 8.97 billion naira. This amount of money can be used to build
Each member has received 19.1 million naira. Multiply that by the total number of senators. Then you look at exactly what those nasty people at the Green Chambers, the Federal House of Representatives, equally must have been dished out to. Ruthless nation.
world-class hospitals in 8 states of Nigeria.
Yeah.
Their monthly expenses is a whopping 13.5 million naira,
Monthly
which is equivalent
expenses.
to 27.
Monthly expenses of each senator in that nasty piece of expression called Nigeria is 13.5 million naira. And your Senate president, like that nasty one, had the audacity to tell Nigerians his salary a month is 750,000 naira. What a whole load of nonsense. Shithole. Shithole man. Your current Senate president is shithole. I don't have respect for them. I have respect for that office. I have respect for the office of the president, the vice president, or the public office. But the people holding the office, guys, I don't respect them because they don't deserve to be respected. They're nasty.
£1,000 or $37,500. In addition to the
Listen to that.
of Nigeria. Their monthly expenses is a whopping 13.5 million naira,
yeah,
which is
sitting
equivalent
allowance
to
a month.
£7,000 or $37,500.
That is equivalent to £27,000 or $37,500 each, apart from their basic salary. That's what they get. There's no furniture for the new senators. They've not calculated their furniture allowance and all this allowance and the rest of it. It's not been calculated yet. That's not in the equation. It is not. There's more coming. Loads more coming. That's why that nation is a ruthless nation. Let's listen.
$100 in addition to their monthly salaries of more than $2,000 per month. Fellow compatriots, arise, O compatriots. Nigeria calls you. Join us as we protest against jumbo allowances and the cost of governance. Governance is about its citizens, not politicians. God bless Nigeria.
Governance is about the citizens. See, earlier, I told Ayogundimu, I think this was in my earlier appearance on Citizen AY. I made it known to Ayogundimu, if you remember, that this world is all about control of land and resources. When you control land, when you control resources, then you control the people. So the people is number third. Land, resources, and then the people. You see, now I want you to begin to picture out exactly what I have been saying, because I think I made this known last year on your show, Ayogundimu. Muhammadu Buhari is now bent in controlling all the piece of land with his Fulani people in Nigeria. That is their mission. That is exactly what they want to do. The control of land. They are already controlling the resources. And now, the land grab through Ruga and cattle colony is exactly what they will grab next in order to control the people. Listen to this. I want you to listen to this again.
Some people just can raise that face there.
This is Benue community.
Without consultation with the people and for no context that we know of.
Already, Ruga, they've already hijacked a huge, massive land in Benue State. It is not suspended because this happened yesterday. So I want to play it again and I want you to listen.
Have you seen? Some people just can raise that face there in the name of Ruga or whatever without consultation with the people and for no context that we know of. And we are not going to allow them. We have scattered the signposts. Before the end of today, this fence will come down.
See, it's been fenced. This large piece of land had already been fenced.
Before the end of today, this water will come down. But allow it. Taking it, and there is no dimension to it.
They've taken
it's
the land.
So no, they took this land, and there's no measurement.
No measurement.
As far as
They just started doing their fencing.
so, how long is the fence? Because I see it started from here down there.
As long as you can go. As long as you can go.
But is it only this part of the land, or here is also included?
Compassing the whole of this.
So this is what they want to start working with now.
Yes.
That they pasted the sign.
Yeah.
Now you said the community is coming to raise down
Before the end of today. Before the end of today.
But if you are raising it down before the end of today, won't you discover? Because I can see that you have already pulled down this one.
I've not even started yet. I've not even started yet. I've not started yet.
The man is already breaking all the barriers.
So much anger. Why are you so angry, sir?
Because of the intention of the government that we should be killed by the herdsmen.
Wow.
That's the intention of government.
So what message do you want us to take to Abuja? Because we are mobilizing a mass action against this settlement that they have planned for Benue State. This one, what's the location of this one?
Still Otobi.
Otobi. Okay. Now, why did you pull down the signpost?
Why wouldn't we? A signpost is directing you that something like this is happening somewhere. Now that the signpost is destroyed, means that there is nothing happening here. That's me.
What's your position in the community?
I was the former community president, the director and the leader of the vigilante in the community, and the major stakeholder in the community, the decision-making body.
Okay. Well, we are here today to take this message back to Abuja.
See?
We have heard the rumors, seen on social media, the fact that the Ruga settlement is coming to Benue State and other states of the Federation. And this one particularly concerns those of us who are from Benue State, which of course you have seen the way and manner he has expressed his anger. The community is angry over this project. And one of the things that they have mentioned, which is very salient, is that if you are bringing a project to a community, you will sit down with the community and analyze and agree on the larger expanse of land. But you have just stated a while ago that it is as far as you can see, unlimited portion of land, which they claim an individual gave out, and that the state government is not even aware about the acquisition of this land. The message we are sending back to the federal government, particularly the president, is that the Ruga settlement in Benue State, the Ruga settlement in this community, we do not agree to it, we do not subscribe. The community have said a no. And of course, for the avoidance of doubt, are you, the community, in support of this project? No. And why are you not in support of this project?
I have said it for the 10th time.
Yes.
That we cannot cohabit with the herdsmen. Knowing what they have done to us. Look, even if you go to my farm up there,
yes,
what the cattle people have done to my farm there.
You see?
Just a peasant farmer. What they have done there. So if me, I am fortunate, and they still do that to me, then I begin to pity for those who are less fortunate than myself.
Yes.
And so we cannot.
So, what last word do you have? What message do you want to send to the president of Nigeria?
We are telling the federal government, the president of the Republic of Nigeria, that it should stay clear from our land.
You should stay clear.
As far as Ruga is concerned. As far as cattle are concerned.
Now, what message do you want to send to the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on this matter?
It will interest you that we have sent our protest letter to the governor and you should forward it to the president. And what we are saying is that we cannot cohabit with herdsmen.
Simple.
But we are still standing on what the state government says. If they are prepared to ranch their animals and we have the land to lease to them, they should come for our discussions.
So it appears that this land is not even leased to them.
No.
In accordance to the
No. That is our anger. So we don't even know who is heading this project. We don't even know who is heading the project.
So you said the community is coming to pull down
before the end of today. Before the end of today. You can't tomorrow you will not see it.
Well,
that's it.
This is clearly a message from the community.
You see, Ayogundimu, yes, Oluwafumila Ayotunde showing me. You are welcome to the show. I can equally spot Oromidayo Godwin Modupe as well. Fola Kintide, Adeshino, Adefenwa. You are all welcome to the show. You see, Ruga cattle colony is going nowhere. And from what I gathered authoritatively from a very, very good, reliable source that Obasanjo said, former President Olusegun Obasanjo said, that war will soon break out in Nigeria. You heard. War will soon break out in Nigeria. And there was a positive indication that was put into that, because Obasanjo said, mark my words. Let's quickly take a glimpse at how that war is going to break out, which was why when I started I said look back 100 years. From now, look back 100 years. From now, look forward into another 100 years. 100 years ago, all of us who are listening to this show, watching the show, anywhere in the world, we were not alive. We were not born. 100 years from today, we won't be alive. All of us. Let's look at what's going to happen should that war break out in Nigeria. Now, don't forget, Obasanjo is a retired military general. He fought in the Nigerian Civil War. He was 2 times the head of state. First as a military head of state, and then second as a democratically elected president. So Obasanjo said, and I'm quoting him word for word, another civil war in Nigeria has become imminent and inevitable. He said it. The reason for its inevitability is simply because, listen, Muhammadu Buhari, the northern Nigeria Fulani oligarchs, and the wider network of Fulani in sub-Sahara Africa have concluded plans to adopt Nigeria as the homeland for all Fulanis in Africa. He then said they have realized that the wandering and ruthless lifestyle of cattle herding Fulani is no longer tenable in the 21st century. So Fulani need to have land to call home and rear cattle, and that land should be Nigeria. The indigenous peoples of Nigeria have vehemently and stridently opposed to this diabolic plan, and both sides are mobilizing for war. So the Fulanis are mobilizing for war. Those who refuse to give up their land for Ruga or cattle grazing are equally planning. The Fulanis, according to Obasanjo, won't relent, and the indigenous people will not give up their land. You heard that. Now, he then made it known that it is their antics that the Fulani people are used to kidnapping people for ransom, and that this is not the first time. Kidnapping and the seizure of the institutions of government are all for the purpose of implanting Fulani into the mainstream and control of politics and the economy of Nigeria for the objective of funding the Fulani project in Nigeria. I've been drumming and I've been telling you guys that war is on the horizon. There is rumors of war in Nigeria. Make no mistakes. There is rumors of war in that country. Don't make mistakes. See, I want you as well to begin to picture how on earth can the Fulanis, I think Ayogundimu, you made mention of that in your show yesterday. How can they impose their own emir in Lagos? Lagos has got an emir. Yeah, Lagos has got an emir. So if Lagos can have an emir for the Fulanis, what position is Oba of Lagos and Oba of Lagos and all the other Obas in Lagos? They are looking and they're saying nothing. Ruthless nation. They've dipped their hands into politics. They've taken money from areas that they are not supposed to take money. Rather than maintain the dignity of their traditional titles and the crown, all the Obas are equally hungry people. See, I'm going to ask, is it possible for the Southerners, the combination of the Yorubas and the Igbos, to go up north and then crown their own king in Fulani Hausa land? Is that possible? Let's take Kano for example. Now that we've got Emir of Lagos, is it possible for us to go to Kano and then say this is Oba of Lagos in Kano? Ruga is all about settlement. The Fulani settlement. There's no more. When those pieces of land are given out to the Fulanis, their population will expand exponentially. Currently, the Fulanis are the minorities in our demographic, in our structure, as that nasty piece of geographical expression called Nigeria. I think the Fulanis, they are like about 2 or 5% of the entire population of Nigeria. And now, by implementing the Ruga and the cattle colony that they hope to implement, that will increase their population exponentially. So we are looking at the Fulani population who is currently like in the region of about I think it's about 5 million in Nigeria. Suddenly you will see them catapult into 30-40 million because they are Muslims and they can have up to 4 wives, and with up to 4 wives they can have up to 100 children. Chain Wisdom Ogunsanwo, you're welcome. Bello Charles, you're welcome. Yes, I've got Chinyere Helen Njoku as well, who's holding a fantastic Evolve program. I think it is on the 24th or 25th or 26th of July. I'll tell you more about that later. And I hope to bring Chinyere as well into my show when I am at home. It is their antics. They hijack the government. They hijack the resources. They hijack the land. You look at your nasty piece of that Muhammadu Buhari of a president of yours, who declared 150 cows, and up till now, those cows, they've neither increased nor decreased. The same 150 cows. He's got his own farm. Why can't Muhammadu Buhari decide to build ranches in the north? Why the south? Femi Falana spelt it, because I watched Femi Falana's interview. Awolowo had a ranch in the southwest that he used cocoa money or do a group of companies to build. Femi Falana made it known because Muhammadu Buhari pointed out that that was part and parcel of our history. Cattle grazing is not part of it. They are twisting history. They are twisting everything. Femi Falana made it known that how can it be economically viable if the north can begin to transport their cows from the north to the south. Number one, he pointed out the health hazard. Number two, the cows are better off in their region, well fed, well catered for, slaughtered, and then transport to the south. No, they won't do that. Why can't Muhammadu Buhari build enough ranches in Sambisa Forest, both the northeast and the northwest? Why is he coming to the south? See, now I am beginning to blame all those political leaders, those ruthless ones, starting all the way from Bola Ahmed Tinubu and all of them. Because Bola Ahmed Tinubu ruled Lagos for 8 years. Babatunde Raji Fashola another 8 years, 16 years. These guys never thought of constructing a ranch to milk their cows, to do everything, and then supply meat to Lagosians and perhaps the southwest. The ranch that the late Chief Obafemi Awolowo built with cocoa money in the old western region, they killed it. Yes, partly the military were to blame for that, because nobody was interested in how to feed the common Nigerians. See, this is taking me back as far back as 1998, when I made it known in my first publication titled Rumors. I made it known that the Western world, the Americans, the Western world, are busy planning, thinking of how they will feed their own people. But your ruthless, nasty people, nasty leaders in Nigeria, they are busy chopping oil money. They had no foresight. They were not thinking on what to do. Had they implemented that, or put it into their plans, that they ought to think of how they should feed their own people, Muhammadu Buhari will not come up in 2019 to want to lay claims to other people's land. Central African Republic has gone through exactly the same thing that is happening in Nigeria today. What happened? Terrible war. Terrible war in Central African Republic. The same thing the Fulanis did in Central African Republic. It is the same antics that they are implementing in Nigeria, but with a sophistication. Central African Republic is already a run-down country. It's the same thing. Should we allow them? It's a question. Because I tell you something, Bola Tinubu had already sold you the way Madam Tinubu sold Nigerians as slaves to the white people. Bola Tinubu in 2019 had already sold all the Southerners, the Southwest, to the Fulanis. He's done it. And now, we're now having to face people like Fayemi in Ekiti State, who had already given the go-ahead anyway for cattle colony in Ekiti State. Now, supporting the idea of cattle grazing. Awolowo will never forgive all these people in his grave. Awolowo will never forgive Bola Ahmed Tinubu for everything he's doing to the Southwest, for destroying all the things that he built and labored so that the lives of the ordinary Yoruba people can be made prosperous by now. He's not going to forgive them in the grave. He's probably swearing at them in the grave and cursing them ruthlessly. Guys, I'll bring this to an end, and perhaps probably, if I'm not too tired, maybe we'll carry on from there, because I've got quite a lot to reveal onto you. It's a beautiful afternoon. I'm roasting, and I can spot video enterprise. I hope my phone's not frozen yet, but perhaps when I get back, when I'm comfortable, we'll do another session. So until next time, guys, take good care of yourself, and we meet again. Have a great afternoon.